Good evening, good evening, good evening. Michael and Paul here. I am Paul,
And
and
I am Mike.
and we are just simply going to have, I guess, for lack of better words, a fireside chat. We're sitting here talking about things that have happened today, things that are going on. And by the way, Michael, did you see what Bitcoin's doing?
Oh, Bitcoin's crazy right now. It's good to see. Just before we go any further, and we are on recording, obviously, I just want to say that it is 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Okay. And it is 10/23, 2023. I know it'll say that on the YouTube video, but you know how things can be miscrewed or exaggerated or changed. So we want to make sure that we get this clear to anybody that might want to watch this video.
Yeah. Okay. Good idea. Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So Paul and I kind of chit-chatted a little bit today, and today was a very interesting day because Veqber had made a promise to the people that they were going to go ahead and pay everybody on the 23rd because they were doing an upgrade to their system. And I don't know, Paul, if you can correct me if I'm wrong on this one, but the biggest part of the upgrade to their system is because they said that people have been getting hit from the inside where their accounts have been getting breached and monies have been going to a different account because quote unquote the people changed their addresses. I'm going to elaborate on this a little bit, and then you could say whatever you wish. First of all, in order to breach the two-factor, it's got to be an inside job. Just like we won't even get into bit sports on this video, but that's an inside job. I don't know. People can say who did it, but we don't know. I don't know, but we know it's an inside job. And so they're claiming that people breached their two factors because you cannot send a withdrawal without a two-factor in Veqber. So now the new tool that they were going to add was, now that once you hit for the withdrawal and you put in your special code that you get in your email, that's another thing. How did someone breach your email to change your code? So all this has to be done through two-factor. It doesn't ring a bell. Okay, there's number two. Then number three is when you ring the bell to take your withdrawal, now it's going to pop up this other thing, other space where you're going to apply your SMS that's going to be directed to your phone, right? So that panicked everybody and their mother, because when you first signed up for Veqber, it was a free-for-all. Put this country, put this address, put whatever you want. Here we go. That should have been our first red flag on everybody, okay? To be so easy, and then to give you lots of money and be easy. So Paul and I want to elaborate on a lot of things today. Veqber isn't what we're going to spend most of our time on, but Paul, please, I mean, give
Veqber, what was it, a month ago or so when they introduced the tower plan? And that was the one where they were going to do compounding on it, for 120-day plan, and going to do compounding on it. That immediately raised a red flag for me. And I know we talked about it. And I even went on a couple of the different groups and, expressed my concern. And of course, I was shouted down and my posts were deleted. But anytime that any platform begins to offer compounding, to me, that's a red flag, because they're using a tactic to get more money flowing, because now all at once they're paying out more than what's coming in. So they need more income money coming in so they can keep paying out until they're ready to pull the rug. And we have a small group, and we warn them. We caution them, I should say, and say, here's what's going on, here's what we're seeing, and everyone gets to make their own choice. We really advocate that no matter what it is, whether you're in a group or not, or whether you listen to this video, that you do, no matter what we say or what we share, apply some critical thinking and think about it for yourself. Make up your own decisions, make up your own mind, because we're not here to force anybody to say anything or to do anything. that should be up to you. All we're doing is putting the information out there, and that way you apply your critical thinking and you'll make your own decision.
Great.
We
And
don't
now,
always make we don't always make the wise decisions, but hey, and then Veqber, when they did finally last Monday send out that email or send out that official quote official notice, they did mention that within 7 days, they think all the withdrawals are going to be shut down, but they offered a new plan and they were going to add 20% to it and all that good stuff. That told me right then they're not coming back. I just had that gut feeling because we've been part of other platforms. CloudFi, one of them, offered the same thing, and then they all at once, you can still make deposits, but you can't make withdrawals, and those are all red flags. But anyway, like you said, Michael, we're not here to talk just about Veqber, but we wanted to, and that's what our group. When I say our group, I formed a group back late July, mid-July, somewhere in there, and I invited Michael on as a guest, and he's been with me ever since.
I've never
We've
left.
become. I'm sorry.
I never left. Don't feed the cat. They always say that. Once you feed the cat, the son of a bitch will never leave.
I'm telling you, you just, I can't even make you leave now. Of course, I don't want to, but you're a very integral part of our group and what we do. And, that's something we want to get into and talk about a little bit, is the things that we were accused of, things that were said about us that were not true. And I'm going to stop right there, Michael, and I'm going to let you, share your thoughts about this, and then I'll share mine.
Yeah, just interrupt me whenever you want, please. This is just, look, for anybody that's watching this thing, this is just an open chat, okay, between the owner of the room and myself, who's a guest speaker. And the reason why we decided to go into an addendum to what you watched in the very beginning is because after the fact of what Paul and I did, there was a huge difference in the way that was portrayed to the same group that Mr. Andy Galloway belongs to. Now, look, Paul and I are not here at this moment to smash on Andy. I think what people will find out moving forward, if what Paul and I are hearing, and what's really going on, this will take care of itself. Paul and I don't need to say a word. Am I right, Mr. Miller?
That's right. Absolutely.
If what we're hearing is true, and I don't want to get involved with that nastiness because that's just booja. That's just gossip. And Paul, I don't want to be a part of gossip because there's nothing good that comes out of that. Okay. If we have something to say about someone, which we're going to say some things, you can best believe that we're going to show you that it is what it is. So the first thing I'd like to clear up, if I may, is what is control. Mr. Miller has certain rules in his group. That's not control, because either you can enter the group or don't enter the group. Once you enter the group and you know all the rules of the group and you agree to those rules of the group, and those rules are what it is and not other rules that are like hidden because they didn't want you to know those rules, well, that's just sheer BS, and that's control. Okay. Guest speakers have come in our room. They have their own rooms, and Paul and I have admitted all of the members of our group, well, not all of them, the ones that wanted to be, into those groups. And those groups are just like our groups. They talk, they offer things, they give you an opportunity to excel in your life. Why would you want to stop someone from doing that? That's crazy.
Control. It's all about control, Michael.
So what we're here to talk tonight about is exactly what the Paul Miller Group is about. So we can get it all straight to everybody, because now you're hearing it from the two people. Paul is the owner of that group and I'm a guest speaker. But Paul treats me with the utmost respect and we have a great relationship. And we work at this together. It's not easy. The Paul Miller Group has been attacked from the day when it opened up. Okay. Right. From my telegrams being suspended for dirty language that I never used, for things they said I did that I never did. It was people from the other side putting complaints in about me or acting under a different name and getting me to the point where I would delete them and then recording that I'm just doing this and that. So it cut me off for 2 weeks to be able to go out and do my business with Telegram the correct way. been attacked verbally, both of us been attacked in every different way, but let's get right to the point here, okay? This room is about an education, and this education starts from something that I discovered when I was 15 years old. I never really knew what I was doing with it until I was about 20 years old. And I've gotten better with it and tweaked it ever since, and I am now 59 years old. And when Paul and I first met each other, we actually met each other because we were both calling Jan Gregory out, or whatever his real name is. We were calling him out on a CMB thing, which we were not angry that we lost money in it. We were upset of some of the things that he proposed to the people that were out there. But you will also see in posts that I say that you are 100% responsible for yourself, and you are. But there's nothing wrong with you questioning the other things. I mean, you can let it go, which you should, but there's nothing wrong with questioning that person. Why did you say this? And did that really happen? Because it does one of two things. It tells you if you want to move forward with that person in the second round, right? Does it not?
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
you might be asking yourself a question. Well, maybe that was just a mistake. Maybe that person didn't know any better. What's going to help you make those decisions is what we all start to have, which is called delayed thinking, which is called reevaluation, which is called analyzing things that you might hear, which most of it we know is garbage, and it's hoopla, and it's made up, right? Okay, but after you start getting a handful of this stuff and you start doing your own homework and you realize, I need to question about that. So the next time you see that person, you ask them. They ignore you, then they boot you. That tells you you're pretty much onto something. Then you realize, I'm not following him to the next place, right? Because if he has to answer that in front of all those people, there's going to be the problem. Okay, so now that we've established that and we know that those kind of things go, which we do know, this room is about teaching people how to survive on their own. And most level marketing people, and listen, I want to mention the names. I have absolutely no issues with Miss Brenda. Miss Brenda's never done me wrong. She's a very busy lady, and she's a hard-working lady. You will see that lady on Zooms basically from the time the rooster crows to that sucker's done been to sleep already, and she's still Zooming. Okay, I've seen that woman Zoom up to midnight. I've seen her start at 6 o'clock in the morning and Zoom up to midnight. God bless her. But that is Miss Brenda's way of the way she goes about doing things. Nothing wrong with that. But if we choose a different manner, which people come to us and want to learn the program, we teach them. I wouldn't depend on multi-level marketing. Because if anybody in this room, which I'm speaking of Paul Miller's group, can show me how multi-level marketing has made a success for them, other than the ones that can figure out how to get a bunch of people underneath them, I'm all ears. I'm all ears. You know what the amazing thing is, though, people? The big people, and you'll notice who they are because they got to announce themselves, right? They got to put themselves in a photo. They got to show you that they're at 8 level, 6 level, 5 level. And I'm not trying to make in front of anybody. They want to show you what level they're at. Okay. But do you know that most of them are broke? Do you know that most of them, when the ship goes down, like right now with Veqber, those guys are going down with it? Do you know what the question is, that, ladies and gentlemen? It's very simple. If you get a guy like me that's good about getting a group underneath him, I don't have to put a penny in Veqber. I can keep getting in all those deposits, and some of them are big, right? If you think Veqber's given, let's just say 5% right off the bat. So if I'm savvy and I can work a whole week and get $10,000 in, I just made $500. You see that, ladies and gentlemen? So if I want to, I can put it in the site. Do you know most of the people don't even invest in the sites that they're promoting? If half the people understood that, there'd be chaos. Most of the people don't invest. You think Marcos's paycheck from Veqber and I saw it, for $168,000 he made in commissions, ladies and gentlemen.
Vortec, you mean?
I'm sorry, sir?
Vortec, not Veqber?
You are exactly correct. Please excuse me, I got Vortec on my mind.
Right.
I mean, I got Veqber on my mind. Off of Vorotech, ladies and gentlemen. He made nothing off of Veqber that I can contest to. I want to
Right.
say that again. I made a mistake there. He made all of his money, all that money off of Vorotech. He
Mhm.
never invested a dime in Vorotech. Okay? I know
That's
that.
right.
At the very end, after he got that 168, he threw a few bucks in there. Okay? So there it is. So what are we teaching in the room? We're teaching the plan of king and queen. And the king and queen plan teaches you how to invest in platforms and how to organize those platforms in such a way that you put your interest in a secure position. And if someone rug pulls on you, yes, your amount and your earnings go down, just like in anything else. But you're more secure because you're diversified, but you're diversified with a plan and with an action to that plan. Okay? And that's why you will see most of the people from our room that have counseled with either Paul or I personally are now out of the situations they were in the past.
Mhm.
Let's go through the motions here, ladies and gentlemen. If you had invested in Veqber, you should be completely out. But if you took the long-standing plans, the hook and sinker, the reach around, then you're in trouble. Because if you look at the date Veqber started, and you look at the time that most of your 4-month plans should pop, right about now.
Right now.
Right about now, gentlemen.
Yep.
Right about now, right? There's a couple
Mhm.
that got away with it because I did see a couple of posts. Oh, that's the people that jumped. As soon as it was announced, they jumped right on it. But then some people hem and hoard for a week or 2 or 3. Those are the people right now. Those are the people right now looking for the paycheck.
Mhm.
That's the paycheck they got, right?
Yep.
So there it is. If you go into a situation and you are taught by this room right here, by this group, you would have never have locked your money up in 120-day programs. If you would have locked it up in 120-day programs, you would have locked it up under the program that I would have showed you. Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying it can't be done in Veqber because it can, but there's a program that it takes to be able to do that. So that when Veqber pulls the rug on you, you really didn't get spanked if you do it the right way, folks.
That's right. That's right. And maybe now's not a good time to mention it, but I do want to mention it. We keep talking about people in our group. And one of the things that we got accused of was approaching other people in other groups, trying to, quote, recruit them into our group. And that's not what we do. That is absolutely not what we do. People approach us, and that's when we sit down with them, we consult with them, we set them, we give them options. And like Michael just said, if you follow the program, if you follow the King and Queen program, and you were in Veqber and you did what was you were consulted to do, you're okay.
Yep.
The rug might have been pulled, but you've got other things in place that can take care of that and that can move in that spot, and you keep right on going. That's why personally I would never ever just take one program and promote it and just build it, build it, build it, build it, get people in, get people in, get people in, get people in. Yeah, it benefits the top people, but that's what happened with CMB. That's what happened with CloudFi. That's what happened with Veqber. And I saw recently, I'm just going to say it. Andy promoted where he turned $1,000 into $500,000. Now stop and think about that for a minute. How in the hell is that possible? Within, I think he said within a month or 3 weeks or something like that.
It was several weeks.
Several weeks, yeah. I mean, just stop and think about that. How in the hell is that possible? It's not possible if you really care about people and you want to help people be successful on their own. Again, that's what we promote. That I shouldn't even say promote. That's what we present because we promote nothing. We're here to present and to present programs that people can follow, strategies, mathematics, and mechanics, that's what we're doing. And Michael, I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate all the wisdom that you brought. And I'm going to say it again. I don't believe in coincidences. It was synchronicity that brought us together. And, it worked so well in our group. And I'm so grateful that we were able to form this group and that you were able to come aboard and help us out. And, we at one time had 50 members and now we're back down to 37 because we had to, I don't like to use the word cull, but we had to get some, we had to, people that were in our group, just like they are in a bunch of other groups, and they weren't participating. And so we asked them what their direction was. And when they didn't know, then we just asked them to leave. And so we're not about building numbers. We're about building quality and helping people achieve what they want to achieve, but to be able to do it on their own. How many times, think about it. If you were in CMB or Veqber or Cloudfly or any of these programs that have platforms that have rug pulled, and you brought your friends in because that's what you were told to do, and you brought your friends, your family, and everybody like that in, and they didn't get in at the beginning, what happened? They lost a lot of money. And now, personally, that happened with me in CMB. Now, some people didn't follow. I didn't follow the advice that they were given, and they lost because of that. And there was others that just didn't get in quick enough. And so, I just got sick and tired of hearing people or seeing people being used. And so that was one of the main reasons I started the group back in mid-July, was to offer a place where people can build their finances on their own without having to bring a bunch of people in to help them build it. And that's where Michael came in then with the King and Queen program, which is, I'm going to tell you, it's bulletproof. I have yet to see anywhere where you can pierce it. And like you said, Michael, you've been doing it since, actually really heavily into it since you're age 20. So that's 39 years, almost 40 years that you've been doing this and perfecting it. And honestly, I've tried to poke holes in it. There's no hole that can be poked in it.
Well, I can't challenge anybody right now because they're just hearing little bits and pieces about it, But I do want to clear up one thing, if I may. When I mentioned Brenda's name and Andy's name and Walter's name and Luciano and all of these people, Jan and Marcos, I hate to say this, people, but it's the dead truth is every once in a while, these people will throw you a bone. They will. They'll throw you an opportunity to make money. But I really believe that like someone like Brenda, I really believe that Brenda is of the elite people of the multi-level marketing business. I really believe that Brenda thinks, I should just tell you, I believe that she thinks differently because that's what she's shown me. Okay, as far as how you do it with multi-level marketing. I'm not saying that she's not firm on this multi-level marketing because she gets on the people, the multi-level market. But what I'm saying is, what I know about Brenda and what I've learned about the others, I would say that she stands above the rest. Isn't that not true, Paul?
Absolutely.
Okay.
She puts class to it. She's classy. She's the next level up, as far as I'm concerned.
So you can go to Brenda and you could get programs from Brenda and assert what we teach. But here comes the ringer, because we don't want to make this too long. We don't want to make people sit through this thing. We're going to do a couple of these and we're going to touch on more things. But here's the deal, people. When you come in this group, you got to have money to invest in this group, because when you invest that money, we help you in the direction of that money. Okay? And we want to build you into a point where you learn how to take care of yourself. You don't have to call up nobody. When we show you this program, you will operate on your own. Okay?
Absolutely.
Do it through either Paul or myself, or through both of us, half in one situation, half in the other. And let me tell you something. There's no secret here. We hope to make money on you in the end. Come here, Natasha, 1 minute, please. Hang on. Let me do this. Te amo mucho. Okay. And when, I mean, my daughter, got to take care of her. And, you know, when you get into this situation and you get to the point where you start to make money and you start to take some out for yourself and reinvest in your system, which we'll show you, we're going to make money on those percentages. And we should, because, you know, that's the way we roll. And that's just a little touch of it tonight. I don't want to go into that very deeply. Nothing's for nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing's for nothing. But I do want to say this. When you get in the multi-level marketing business, they want you to put the money in the company. Then they get their immediate commission, right? They get their immediate commission. It's like us. We don't ask for half of what they ask for God's sake, right? They want you to put big money in, okay? And they want you to keep bringing people. We don't want you to bring anybody. If you bring someone, bring them into groups that they can learn too. We don't put no restrictions on anybody other than the fact to follow the rules in the group, which is move your money around the way we share with you and do the things that's necessary. Why? We don't want people losing money in the group.
No.
And obviously, let me tell you, going back to Veqber real quickly, this whole Veqber circle has put a big slap into the group of Paul Miller. Why? Because there were people trying to get outside the line in that group. There were people trying to reach outside and just get that last little couple of bucks. And you know what? They got push slapped. Did they not, Paul?
Yeah, they did. I think we both got
one complaint. Excuse me, I didn't mean to overtalk you, sir. There was
not
not one complaint in the room, was there, Paul? Was there one bad mouthing going on in the room?
Not a one. Not a one.
We
both got emails. We both got messages.
Yeah.
You know,
and in those messages, nothing was nasty. None were, oh, well, I guess I'll just quit. I guess everything's just a scam. Mindset, people. Paul Miller says it a million times to me since I've known him. You cannot continue doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Do you not tell me that?
Absolutely.
So what are you going to do now?
I think I bring it up in every meeting.
What are you going to do now, people? You're going to join another situation in the same circumstances, not change your education level, not changing your habit about how you look after your money, and not changing anything, but you want to be rich. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck, everybody, if that's the way you think. If it's not, keep watching the next couple of videos that are getting ready to come on here. Okay? And why not be direct like that, right? So if you want to stick to the same program, follow Andy in his next group and see how that works out for you. Okay? If you want to improve yourself, get in touch with the email that's below here if Mr. Paul Miller put it in already. If not, you can get in touch with Mr. Paul Miller on Telegram. And we'll show you what we think works a lot better.
And the email will be there. You can email us with any questions. If you don't feel comfortable commenting in the group or into the comments below, then email us. And we're more than happy to talk to you and guide you along whatever your thoughts are or whatever direction you'd like to go. So I guess with saying that, are we ready to close this?
Yeah, let's not make it a long one. We can just tell everybody we really appreciate you, and we would love for you to become part of the membership of the group. But I mean, this is a strict group. This is not just, oh, we just push the button and you're in. You're going to have to go through. I'm glad that we did this. You're going to have to go through an interview process. Okay. Absolutely. And that's going to include a Zoom meeting with Paul and myself, and be ready to answer some questions. And we're not going to say yes there. We're going to think about it and maybe have another Zoom meeting with you, because we only want top-notch people in the room. And what do we mean by that? Well, you'll find out when you really get serious and want to inquire about the room.
So yeah, the bottom line is, if you're tired of the merry-go-round, if you're tired of what's going on in other groups, and you want to find yourself a home that you can feel good in and feel good about and be part of a community and part of a family, give us a jingle. Email us. And with that said, God bless. Have a good evening.